Hello everyone, I'm Stella from EachPage, and this is EachPage Flow. Welcome to episode 3 of season 2 of the podcast, or episode 13. This episode will be dedicated to Kaichou wa Maid Sama. Maid Sama, or The Class President is a Maid. This is a romantic comedy shoujo manga by Fujiwara Hiro Sensei, while the anime version was directed by Hiroaki Sakurai. And perhaps you have heard or seen the anime around, but today I'll focus mostly on the manga. Let's start with some facts about Maid Sama, which was first published in 2005 on the magazine Lala. This manga falls under comedy, but of course it has good life and romance because of the main characters and what they both go through. I'll get to that soon enough. The manga had 18 volumes when it ended in 2013. So, the characters are a major part of what makes this manga so interesting and what makes you keep going. If you know about it, you know where I'm going with this. Usui Takumi is one of the bad boys that are not really bad, but smart and kind that he does whatever he wants. And when he finds out that Ayusawa Misaki is working as a cute maid in a cafe, and this being so a harsh difference from her, let's say, rough attitude as a class president, then things take a turn, and of course these two become closer each day because of the secret they share. As for the side characters in the story, they are not as eye-catching as Misaki and Takumi. They're funny and are good for the plot, but not that impactful. Not the ones on the cafe or on the school. And I mean, anyone they meet, even on the other schools or events they have, they're there, but it's not as interesting as the main characters. The main thing of the story is the fact that Misaki doesn't want anyone at school to know that she worked as a maid, and that she has to act all cute at the cafe because that's how that type of jobs are like that, and she has to treat the customers as masters and be this persona that she's really completely against her personality, which is much rougher. And as a class president, everyone fears her because of how she treats them, and so she's afraid of how it all affects her at school. So it's even worse for her when Takumi finds out, but she doesn't know that he won't actually rat her out, as he wants the secret for himself. That type of thing, to have that relationship with Misaki and be the only one that knows this about her. But after everything goes on, Misaki tries to convince herself that she has no feelings for Takumi until, well, she faces the fact that she does. And of course, while living life in school and at the cafe, all sorts of festivals and events are happening in both places. But the thing that not so much surprises us, but we find out, is that Takumi is actually a rich kid, because why not? However, this becomes a problem later on the manga, after Misaki accepts her feelings and she wants to be better in life. So no one is judging her, and because of where she came and what she does and everything. But in the anime, we don't see that part. The anime ends when Misaki accepts her feelings for Takumi and they kiss. That is not the case on the manga. It goes beyond that, and we get to see then how a happy ending that feels more fulfilling than what we saw in the manga. But to be honest, if I continue saying what happens at the end, it will be spoilers. And I want to leave you that part for you to read on the manga if you're interested in reading it. Despite the differences between manga and anime, there are actually some memorable moments that stood out more in the anime than the manga. But if you love this type of manga and anime, I mean romance, comedy, shoujo, and I have watched the anime a couple of times because it's fun, then the most wow scene that you probably will find around is from the anime. And there's one where Misaki is wearing a bikini because they're having a cafe at the beach and she's helping out. And Takumi doesn't want anyone to see her like that, dress her like that. So he gives her a little bruise on her back. So she'll have to change into something else because what she's wearing is way too revealing. And that's not the only time we see him showing his feelings, of course. At the beginning of the series, he kissed her before jumping off a building because a photo of them together where Misaki is dressed as a maid. Then he has it and it flew off, so he went after it after making a deal with Misaki. And those are some of the fun moments of the manga and the anime. But more so in the anime, if you watch it, then these are the ones that stay with you. And even when I read it years ago and watched the anime, even for the time, of course I watched the anime first and then read the manga because that's how it happened before in life. It's still a favorite. It's not on my top 5, to be honest, but I do recommend it because I think it's at this point sort of a classic in this genre. Compared to other manga that I've read, like Akata Sakura or Horimiya, this one is a lower ranking for me. Some volumes had 4 stars, 3, and others had 5. But I cannot love it every time that I see something about it or remember something from it. And I mean, even if they have that ranking, and I mean, it's not Namaki Sakari, which I love everything about it, and every single volume I loved completely. I don't think I ever gave it less than 5 stars. But that's a different story. Anyway, Kaichou wa Maid Sama is for those who want a quick read or a quick watch. The anime has only 26 episodes, so you definitely can watch it in a weekend. But the question is, have you watched Maid Sama or read the manga? You can share your opinions here or on social media. Please leave a comment if you read the manga or watched the anime. And if you're enjoying this season of the podcast, which is all anime and manga, then here's a teaser for you of what's coming next. I'll be talking about Sekaishi Hatsukoi as well, Nana, and Horimiya. Those are some of the episodes that will be coming next. So be sure to check them out. And that's it for today's episode of EachPage Flow. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoyed this manga chat about Kaichou wa Maid Sama. Also, you can read the review on my blog, eachpage.org. And if you like this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, dearest. See you on the next one.